This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so good morning all and welcome back to the session. This is Big Data Masters program. So friends, in previous session, what we were discussing about subqueries and all. Like we have gone through with certain stuff like say how the different types of tables, what are the different types of tables inside Hive. So what we have seen, like managed table, external table, temporary table, and then loading the data into those particular tables. This particular stuff we have seen. Apart from this, what we have seen, like how to load the data into the tables. So how to load and what I have discussed, there are three basic ways in order to load the data into tables. One is like create the table and load the data with the help of insert command. So we will be able to load the data in that particular way, but that is not recommended because the map reduce jobs are firing at each and every insert, and that is going to consume more time. A lot of latency will be there. So that is not recommended. Second way is to load the data from files. So say once we are having certain files, say CSV files or TXT files or log files, and if we are having a proper schema of those particular files, then from those particular files we will be able to load the data into tables. So we just need to create Hive tables, and then we can load the data. Over here there are two flavors, like once the file is placed inside the hdfs and once the file is placed on local. So we have seen those particular two approaches as well in order to load the data once the data is available in files. The third way in order to load the data from a particular in a particular table, that is from a table. So if we are having a table and that particular table is carrying certain data, so from that particular table we will be able to move the data into another table. So though these are the three basic methods in order to load the data into Hive tables. Apart from these three basic methods, there is no another way to load the data into Hive tables. Okay, and same is replicated with SQL as well. We know this Hive is a SQL wrapper on top of Hadoop, and we call that is Hadoop SQL language, HQL. Okay, so Hadoop query language basically. So or Hive query language sometimes we used to say. So this is a SQL wrapper on top of Hadoop, and we are going to analyze the data which is placed inside HDFS or on local with the help of Hive queries. So this particular stuff we have seen. Then we have gone through with certain subqueries. Subquery is nothing but the simple definition query inside the query. Okay, like if we are having if we need to fetch certain data, if we need to do the analytics on top of the tables, and if the outcome of a particular query is in tabular view, try to focus over here. If the outcome of a particular query is in tabular format, then we can further write down queries onto that particular outcome, and that is called the formation of subqueries. Like query inside the query, I'm having something that is in tabular format, either like it is the raw data that is in tabular format, or it is the outcome of a query. So we can fire another queries onto that particular tabular structure in order to fetch the data. That's what we have discussed in the subqueries part. Like if we are having a table and we are going to fire a query onto that particular table, then we are getting the result. And if the result is in tabular format, then we can fire another query in order to get the outcome. And the query which is executed first, that is called inner query, and the query which is executed last, that is the outer query. And in that particular directions, what we have done, we have created certain tables, we have loaded, and then we try to fire certain queries. Okay. And with the help of this, with the help of queries, like there are certain clause like in, not in, and exist, not exist, and these particular clause can be implemented with the where clause, so we have gone through with this particular example, like say we were having a particular order table and we are having the customers tables. We have loaded certain records into these two tables, and then we were trying to fire subqueries, or we just try to understand the subqueries. And with respect to this, like this particular query, we have written this particular query, and this particular query was to find the order with the amount greater than average of order amount from the customers with name starting from P. Okay, so we just want to find out the orders
Uh,
with an
so,
amount. Yes.
uh, Sorry to disturb. Actually, in the last weekend classes, I missed and I gone through the recording, but I think that part is missing in the recording. Is it possible? Can we do it?
Yes, 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 yes. So the main thing is that, like, we were having certain issue, like we have written this particular query. Okay, it was able to have the execution onto the SQL. Okay, but it was not, it was throwing certain errors in Hive, like this particular query was there. In order to solve this particular problem, we have written this particular query. So if we are going to create the same tables and firing this particular query, we were able to get the outcome, we were able to get the outcome. But what was happening, once we are going to fire this particular query in Hive, it was throwing one error, that is, uh, it was not able to identify this particular average. So what is happening, the SQL, the main difference between SQL and Hive is working in the distributed mechanism. Okay, and SQL is working onto the monolithic way. So if we are having something inside SQL, so that is available on a single machine, and at that moment, it will be having the entire data on that particular node or that particular machine. Okay, and then average will work. But if we are not having a single machine, and like the case of Hive, we will be having the data that will be distributed among the different machines. And if we are going to fire this particular query, then average is working in this particular way, like each and every machine is going to have its own average, and the actual outcome, that will be wrong, so with respect to the architectural design, what we need to do, we just need to first join these particular tables, and after joining we will be able to apply the average. Okay, if we are not like going to to join the tables, and if we are going to apply average before joining, then it will throw error. That was the observation, huh? So I try to execute these particular queries. These are working perfectly inside the SQL. But what we need to do, in order to work it with Hive, we need to first do the joining up. So just have a look over here. So over here, what we are doing, we are going to have the join orders table that we have created, and it is going to join with respect to the this particular outcome, like it is going to select customer id, c dot customer id, that is nothing but like the customers table, it is taking as c over here. Just have a look. So uh hmm customer c. Okay, so customer C, an alias has been given for the customers table, and alias has been given as C. So C dot customer ID, that is nothing but it is going to select customer ID from this particular table. C dot customer ID, and it is going to take the average, that is nothing but O dot order amount. O, that is referring the orders table as average order amount from orders O. So we have given an alias O for the orders table. So it is over here what is happening, customers table and orders tables are going to join, and based upon this particular condition the joining will happen, where the customer name like P, where onto this particular condition the joining will happen, like o dot customer id, that is nothing but orders dot customer id, and c dot customer id, that is nothing but customers dot customer id. I'm talking about the table. C is the customers table, o is the orders table. So first the joining will happen. Based upon the joining, it is going to calculate the average, and this particular condition will work, and it is going to group it by the customer id, and whatever the outcome that will come from this particular query, okay, that will come from this particular query, it will be, you can say, passed from this particular again query, like as average. uh, it is going to, like, over here what we are saying, say, okay, so with an amount, to find the orders with an amount greater than the average of the order amount. So from this particular query, what we are able to identify, we are able to identify the average of order amount with respect to the person starting from the letter P. But this particular condition is pending. Average of order amount is greater than the average of order amount. Order with an amount greater than the average amount. So order amount greater than the average order amount. So this particular condition has been applied over here. Okay, over here this particular condition has been applied, and once this particular condition is applied, it will be like having the outcome, and it will join with that particular outcome, and then we are able to get the outcome with respect to the query. Okay, so this is one way which I have shared with you all. Okay, in this particular, you can say, notepad, I have shared this particular query, and probably what I think you have executed, you have done the execution of this particular query. Today, what I'm going to explain, I'm going to write down the another query in order to do the calculation. So just try to focus. Let me try to copy.
So,
Yes, yes, yes.
okay, after the session having 3 to 4 query, so I will discuss after this session.
Yes, yes, not an issue. So our main motto to find the orders with an amount greater than the average order amount from the customers with the name starting from letter P. Okay, starting from P. So what we are having orders table, and we are having customers table. We are having orders table, and we are having customers table. Let me try to show you the structure of these particular tables. What has happened? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Meanwhile, you can ask the query man. No? It
Okay.
is.
Okay. The first thing is as per the law, many like in the session we are using the alias as
Mm-hmm.
basically what is the
As yes.
actual concept? Yeah, what is the actual concept? Like we are changing the name and all from the
Actually,
column.
these particular things are in order to improve the readability of your code, improve the readability and understanding of your code. So just have a look over here, and over here, alias. So
Hmm.
so if we are going to perform the joining of orders and customers table, so orders and customers tables, orders and customers table. And what we are going to do, we are going to perform the joining of these two tables. So there is one way, like say orders is having say customer ID, and this customer table is, so primary key is say customer ID. Yeah, customer ID. Okay, that is available, or you can say the reference column, or what I can say, in order to perform the VLOOKUP, we need to have the common value. So the customer ID is the common value which is available in both of these two tables, right? So now there are we just need to mention like this customer ID which is available into both of these two tables. So I just need to identify like this customer ID is belonging to which table. So what I need to do, orders dot customer ID and customers dot customer ID. Okay, customers dot customer ID, it is referring like I'm picking customers dot customer ID from customers table, and over here it is referring like I'm picking the customer ID from the orders table. So this is the reference column what I'm having. This is the reference column what I'm having into both of these two tables. And based upon this particular joining will happen. Now just have a look over here, customers dot customer ID, it is like uh, although like we are able to read, but uh, if like this customers, we need to type like more and more customers where like we are going to refer customer, say we are going to perform the complex query and all. So what I can do, I can give the alias customer as C. So instead of writing this complete customer, I'm just going to write down the C dot customer ID. This is referring like uh, sorry, this is referring say the customer table is C over here, and orders table say O. Let me give it O. So orders, instead of writing orders, I'm just going to write down the O over here, that is O dot orders, O dot customer ID. This is from the orders table, and C dot customer ID, this is from the customers table. So first it is going to improve the readability and remove certain words from the your code. Okay, and improve the visibility as well, and this is the good coding you can say structure, and somehow minimize the complexity of your code. Once you are going to write down the code, so at that moment like these particular things, code readability, code complexity, okay, code visibility, these particular things are matters a lot. Okay, so that's why like we are going to use the alias. Sometimes we are going to use the alias with respect to the intermediate result. Okay, just have a look over here. Say average of O dot orders amount as average amount. So if you are not referring, if you are not providing as average amount, so it will come blank. Okay, it will come blank, and you will not be able to get like what is the meaning of this. Okay, it will come blank. So over here what you are giving a name. Okay, it is the same thing like you are referring, you are performing the VLOOKUP in another column, or you are performing certain calculation in another column, and you are not providing the column name. Okay, so this is with like over here alias is given with respect to that. So over here itself it is going to increase the visibility, readability, and complexity, improve the complexity of your code. So that is to answer your query. Right,
Okay.
Mukesh?
And the other thing is in the last few classes, I noticed for creating the table, we are using one liner stored as a txt file
Stored as
like
txt file.
yeah. Why
Okay,
we
we
are
have not.
using? Because
Huh.
we only in htfs or in our local we already saving the csv file. Why we are mention the comment this thing txt and all.
CSV file is CSV files are nothing but you are loading the data from CSV files.
Correct,
Now
correct.
the data is moved, the data is moved in terms of partitions, in terms of partitions inside the HDFS. Okay,
Hmm,
now
hmm,
inside the HDFS you are having data, and now you want to optimize how you are going to maintain that particular data inside HDFS. So we will be going through with file format session. Okay,
hmm,
at that moment these particular things will be clear, but there are different file formats in order to like give you certain insight. There are different file formats, and based upon the selection of file format we are going to optimize our uh, performance. So say certain file format ORC, Parquet, those particular file formats are going to to provide you certain uh, you can say compression and all. uh, Whatever you are having, say you are having 40 GB data and you are storing it in say Parquet format or Hive format. Oh sorry,
hmm.
Parquet ORC format. At that moment these based upon the selected file format, they are going to occupy less space. Okay, and once you are going to query onto that particular data, so how the data will be visible, how the data uh, will be fetched, and how fast the data will be fetched from that. So in that particular way these particular files formats are going to play a critical role now. So so that's
Okay,
why
means
like
we
at this
just
moment the default is text only, txt file
hmm,
format only. So just
uh,
we are mentioning text, but in future like we will be going to leverage different file formats. So that is nothing but an optimization phase that we will be discussing. Right now we are not like doing the optimization, so we are just mentioning in the text format, but
hmm.
we will be going to utilize different formats as well.
Okay.
It is not
So
starting. What?
having two more questions, but if
Yes,
you are
yes, you
okay,
can
then
ask.
we okay. Okay.
You can ask, but it is not
Okay.
started.
Okay, okay. So, even during the test, I noticed by default the file size is Hive 2 is 128 MB in the block size. Okay, so even I think you told like based on the configuration we can change it. Okay, uh, how
Hmm.
how the configuration, like how we can change the, because if we are uploading the file automatically, it convert in the 128 MB in the HDFS. Like while upload, how we can change the one more than 128 block size? You told like based
Okay,
on the
that
configuration
that
we
can
can
be
change.
done. That can be done with the help of configuration file.
Configuration like means hive.xml site. This type of files you are talking about, or is there any other?
Uh, Hadoop.xml. Let me walk you through.
Uh-huh. And the other thing is the one more question regarding to the lateral view. I will will discuss this in the after this session lateral view. So having the doubt on that as well.
We will be having detailed session on to lateral view.
Okay, okay, okay. Just
Okay.
help to like how to increase the size and all in the real time
Hmm.
scenario.
So we will be having certain configuration. Hadoop. Inside Hadoop, we are having conf and hdfs-site.xml. In this particular file, we will be having one property, that is DFS block size. So
Uh-huh.
we can change that. It's creating problem. And
So
it has been hanged. Don't know what has happened
uh,
with this machine. You can ask meanwhile.
okay, the other like okay, we can get the we can change the from the Hadoop file. That thing that is fine. So here
Hmm.
is one more question. Like maximum, is there any limitation on the block size? Maximum we can go this like 1 GB, 2 GB, or
No, no, no. You
no?
you need to basically, to be very frank, these particular things are the design related stuff. Design,
Mm-hmm.
or these are the architectural design. So
Okay.
based upon the structure of your data, based upon the cluster what you are having, based upon the size of your data, these
Mm-hmm.
particular things are decided in the beginning of the project.
Okay, means
Okay.
already there is separate team. Once we started
Yes, yes,
working in the.
admin team is there. Admin team is there, which is going to perform these particular things. But from the
Uh-huh.
developer's perspective, from the developer's
Mm-hmm.
perspective, you need to have the you need to have the knowledge of internals, what is happening uh, once I'm going to utilize 128 MB of block size, and what is happening once I'm having the 64 MB of block size, or what will happen if I'm going to increase it up to 512 MB of the block size. You just need to
Mm-hmm.
have the understanding. It might be possible, like you are going to recommend that you need to increase the size because the cluster is very heavy. Okay, you are having a lot of machines over here, and the data size that you are getting, based upon the data, you need to increase, so that the effective distribution will be there of the blocks, and you will be able to have the execution. Let me restart. I'm going to restart it.
Okay.
It is creating problem. It is not providing me the outcome. So you can think in this particular way. Let me give you certain insight. Say you are having 10 node cluster, 10 node cluster, and uh, 10 node cluster, and you are having or you can say, what I can say, 100 node cluster is there, and in this particular 100 node, and you are having say 10 GB, 10 GB data. Okay, 10 GB data is there that you are going to process with this particular 100 node. Okay, Now, based upon the 128 MB of block, uh, almost 10, say 90, you can say, mm, 90, or what I can say 80 blocks are there now, or say from this particular 10 GB data, we are having 80 blocks, 80 blocks of 128 MB. I'm moving hypothetically. It might be possible the calculation is not correct, but I'm just providing you what is happening, what is the role of block size. Okay, so 80 blocks and you are having 100 machines. You are having 100 machines. So what will happen? 20 machines will be sitting on idle because 80 blocks will be given to 80 machines only. It is not like say 80 blocks are given to 100 node. So 20 machines will be sitting on idle over here, and we are not leveraging the benefit of distributed computing. You can think in this particular way, say the block size is 512 MB. If the block size is 512 MB, 512 MB in this particular cluster, at that moment, what will happen? We will be having almost say 20 blocks only. Say 20 blocks of 512 MB in order to of from the data 10 GB. Yeah, so we will be having say 20 blocks only. At that moment, what will happen? Only 20 machines will be utilized from this particular cluster. Okay, and we are having the heavy cluster. What I can say, we are having 100 nodes, and we are leveraging 20 only over here and 80 over here with respect to this particular configuration. So in this particular case, we are leveraging 80 blocks, 80 machines in order to perform the computation. And over here, we are just having 20 blocks, 20 machines in order to do the task. Rest 80 machines are sitting on idle. So that is not an effective usage of the cluster. What you need to do at this moment, you can increase the block, decrease the block size. Say, I'm going to leverage say 64 MB of the block. It might be possible some machines are having two blocks, but entire cluster will be utilized, right?
The
Clear, huh?
benefit is that we can get the output very fastly. We can get.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, so
Okay,
over
so
here,
the administrator, we can ask to request to the administrator guys, and they can change the block size, right? In the real
right,
scenario.
right, 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 right,
Okay.
right.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and like it can be increased or decreased, huh? Replication. Okay, so over here, default DFS data node. Okay, so we are having one property DFS block size. So if it is not available over here, we can add that property DFS block size. And in what format you just need to add? That is, you can, let me copy this and I can paste it over here. Mhm. Okay, you just need to add in this particular way, say property, and then the name of property, name, and say DFS dot block size, and you just need to close the name, and value, you just need to mention the value, and value you can say 64 or 128, whatever you want. Value, value close, and then you can close the property as well. Okay. So DFS inside this particular file, that is sdfs-site.xml, you can add this particular property in order to have the block size whatever you want. We are not able to see permission safe mode, but we can add that particular property over here. Okay, so over here
So,
you can add the property, and in that particular way you will be having those the block size. You will be able to change the block size.
uh,
Let me try to.
and one more thing, Ashok, like if we are adding this property, then we need to run this XML or not, or we can
No,
save
no,
it
no,
as
no,
a
no, no. This
HTML.
is like it will be saved and it will reflect.
Okay, okay.
Okay, let me show you. Okay, so Hadoop default is this one. Take care. Default is this one and data flare. So with the help of this particular property, you will be able to change. That's it. No rocket science. You just need to add the property and you can increase or decrease the size of your blocks. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Anything
Fine,
else?
fine. No, just having the lateral view, so we can, if having the deep session
Yeah,
on that.
lateral we will be having detailed discussion onto the lateral view.
Mhm,
Now it has
mhm.
been started. Now the Hive has been started, and let me walk you through with the query. So what we have discussed, say we were having two tables, orders table and customers table, and what is the data of these particular tables? I say use bash 32, that is the database what we are having, and show tables. And what we are having, we are having orders table, orders table, select star from orders. Okay, so this is the content for the orders table. This is the content of orders table. This is the content of orders table, and this is the content of customers table. Customers, customer, not customers, customers table, customer table. And this is the content of customer table. Okay, so customers table and orders table. So this is nothing but say order ID and say order ID and customer ID, and this is amount, and this is a customer ID, let me mention, and this is the customer name. Okay, customer ID and customer name, and order ID, customer ID and amount. So what we want to have, we want to find out the orders, with an average amount, with an amount greater than the average. So what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the average of these particular amounts. So say the average is, say, let me mention, the average is say 500. So the average of these particular amount orders is 500. So we just want to find out the order with an amount greater than the average amount. So average is 500, so the selection what it will be, the 700. 700, or if the average is say 200, then the selection what it will be, 300. uh and say 700. So these two orders will be selected. Okay, then another condition is there, amount for the customer with the name. So I can have, I can calculate this particular stuff from this particular table only. Like I just need to select the orders. I just need to select the orders which are having greater than, which are having the value greater than the average amount. So this particular order amount and this particular order amount will be selected. Okay. So these two orders, these two records will be selected. Then there is another, you can say, query. Yeah, another query. What it will be like? I just want the customer's name with respect to, like, who are having the starting letter P. Okay, so for, in order to get the outcome with respect to the customer starting from P, what I need to do, I need to join it with this particular table which is having. So I just need to have the customer name over here, and then with this particular condition I'm going to check, like, is the name starting from P. Okay, so I just need to perform the join with the help of this particular table. Okay, so once I am having the join, I'm going to join these two tables. Then I will be having the names, and then I can check this particular condition and I will get the outcome. So, Mhm. Semantic invalid reference orders. Invalid reference orders. O dot customer ID. Customer ID where C dot customer ID name like P group by customer ID. Minor mistakes. Hmm. Okay, it is executing. So this is the outcome with respect to the inner join, or inner subquery. Hmm. So just have a look. So this is the customer ID and this is the average order amount. Let me try to do it with the Hive too. Control C, B line for the better visibility. Hyphen U, Hive 2. I think colon is missed. Hmm. Hmm. So use batch 32. Okay. So what we are doing over here, we are performing the inner query, or we are going to execute the inner query, where what we are doing, we are joining the customers and orders table and selecting the and calculating the average of order amount, and getting the records with respect to the P. Okay. So let me try to execute it into the bunch. Okay. So say select star from orders. For the better clarity, I'm executing it in bunches, and select star from customers, from customer. Okay, so we are having orders table and customers table. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform the join. So I'm going to join orders tables and customers table based upon what? Based upon the customer ID. Just have a look after joining what is happening. So I'm going to join orders and customers table. Okay, so I'm just going to join. I'm not bothered about the condition and all. Okay, so I'm going to perform the join, a plain join, and default join is the inner join. Okay, just have a look. So inner join is going to calculate, to capture the common records from both of these two tables. A common, like say 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So 1 2 3 4 and 7 with respect to these particular IDs or primary key, basically we will be able to get the records. Just have a look. What has happened? Expression is not group by key customer ID. What has happened? Okay, just have a look. So we are going to join, and at this moment the condition where clause has not been applied. We are just calculating the average. We are selecting the customer ID. So what we will be getting? Customer ID and customer ID and average order amount. Just have a look. Okay, so customer ID and average order amount. So we are getting the customer's ID and average order amount with respect to these particular customer IDs. Okay, so just have a look over here what we are having. So group by customers, it might be possible like we are having multiple entries. So based upon the multiple entries, we will be able to get the outcome average, huh? So probably like 101 is there two times, one is say 700, one is 100. So based upon that, average is say 400, huh? So over here, just have a look. So 101 is there twice. So 101, 101. So 101 divided by 2. So we are getting 400. So average is 400. So what we are getting, customer ID and average order amount. Now up to so far, what we are able to get, say we have joined these two tables. Okay, and we are selecting the customer ID and calculating the average order amount based upon the customer ID. Okay, we are performing the uh, group by the customer and customer ID, and whatever the entries are there, we are able to get the average with respect to that particular customer. Okay, so we are not selecting all the columns, we are just selecting the customer ID and average order amount, that is the new column which is created based upon the calculation of order amount. Now we are having what I have mentioned, the same what I have mentioned. I'm selecting the customer ID and average order amount. So that's what we got, average order amount. Now one more condition we are going to, let me mention the select name as well over here. Okay, so for the better clarity, let me mention the name as well over here. Say c dot name, o dot name, c dot name. So we are having customers dot name as well. Customers dot name. So customer is having alias c, so that will be c dot customer name. So c dot customer name. Let me try to do the execution once again. And group by c dot customer ID. What has happened? Invalid column reference. Customer name. C dot customer name. It will be C dot customer name. Group by C dot customer ID. Hmm. Customer name invalid reference. Let me try to. Hmm. C dot customer name. So C dot, just have a look. So what we are selecting, select C dot customer ID, C dot customer name. So average orders as average orders from orders O joins join customer C on C dot customer ID and O dot customer ID, but C dot customer ID is available. Customer name, C dot customer name. It's available. Copy. Let me copy once again. Invalid column reference. It's existing. Hmm. Just a minute. Let me try to do in this particular way. I'm not performing group by, not calculating, and select star from orders or join customer C on C dot order. And let me try to do the execution. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so just have a look. This is what I explained. Like if we are going to perform the join, this is the inner join, and I have explained it over here. Okay, so this is with respect to what I have explained. Like if you are going to perform the joining, then this will be the outcome will look like this. You will be having order ID, customer ID, amount, and customer name and customer ID and the customer name, customer ID and customer name. So same we are getting over here. This is with respect to the order table, and this is with respect to the customers table. Like, right? So this is the inner join. By default is inner join. By default is inner join. So whatever the common is there, with respect to the common values, we are able to get the outcome. So what I am going to explain over here, okay, once you are going to perform the join, okay, once you are going to perform the joining is happening in this particular way. Now what you are doing, you are selecting customer ID and average of, and you are calculating, you are applying average onto this particular order amount and calculating the average order amount, that is a column, and two things you are selecting, customer ID and average order amount. So that's what I have mentioned. And you have added one more condition, that is like, that is, say, calculating it with the name as well. So let me try to show you. Once the grouping is done, then you just need to mention the column name based upon the grouping is done. So just have a look over here. Then you are able to get the outcome in this particular way. Okay, once you are performing the join, so the plain join we have performed over here, order and table is being joined and we are selecting all the record. That's what I have mentioned over here, the select star from orders table O, or let me remove the alias as well. Let me remove the alias as well. So customers dot customer ID, you just need to mention the customer dot customer ID and orders dot customer ID. Yeah. So I have removed the alias as well. This is nothing but the plain join. Plain join. Okay. So once the plain join is happening, you are able to get all the records. At this moment, you can select the columns. Say if you want the customer ID and name only, then you can mention those particular columns. But at this moment, what I have mentioned, I have selecting all the records. Okay. So even if you want, you can mention the records whatever you want. So this is plain join. We are performing the join onto these two tables, and just have a look what is the, we will be able to get this particular outcome. So we will be able to get this particular outcome after the joining. Okay, so the same stuff like orders dot orders id, and what I have mentioned, like if you are going to make use the alias, then it will provide you the better visibility. Yeah. So orders dot orders id, orders dot customer id, orders dot order amount, previously it was o dot orders id, o dot customer id, and o dot orders amount. So readability was good. So once we have performed the joining, so this is the outcome. Now we will be moving ahead in one step. I'm going to select the customer ID and I'm going to calculate the average of the order amount. So in order to calculate this, what I need to do, I need to select the customer ID and average of order amount, and I have given an alias. Okay, from orders o join customers. If you want to remove these alias, you can remove these alias as well. And you are performing, if you have used any computation, say average, min, max. Okay, so you just need to apply the group by as well. So group by, if certain computation is there, then group by is function is required over here. So that's why like it is expecting group by, and once we have like mentioned the group by, we were able to get the outcome. So This is with respect to like applying the join. Now after applying the join, we are selecting certain records, okay, and grouping this particular outcome with group by. Okay, just have a look. With respect to this execution, we will be able to get the customer ID from this particular table, and we will be able to calculate the average of the records with respect to the customer ID, average of the orders amount. Okay, so just have a look. So first joining has happened, plain join. Now a little bit progress is there. Now we have selected the required column and applied a numerical function, that is average, calculating the average onto the onto the order amount. Okay, and we will got the outcome. So we will got the customer ID and average order amount, but we want this particular outcome with respect to the 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 condition, like name starting from P, yeah? Okay, so name starting from P, so we are going to add some, we are going to add one more clause over here, that is the where clause. Okay, so over here we are going to add one more clause, so with respect to this particular clause, we are going to add a condition, say where the customer name like P. Okay, so over here group by, before group by, I'm going to add this particular where clause, and now at this moment I will be able to get the outcome with respect to the name starting from P. Just have a look. So a little bit more movement is there. First of all, like, we got the outcome with respect to the join. Second, we have done the calculation. Now we have added one more condition, that is calculation of the outcome with respect to the names starting from P. Just have a look. Okay, so we got the outcome. Say this is the person whose name starting from P and the average order amount. So average order amount and name starting from P, and we can verify it with this particular record. So 101 name is starting from P and we got the average order amount. Now we are having this particular outcome, and we are going to do what, we are going to store it as a as an alias, alias, that is, you can say alias, like say we are going to store this as an alias, and we can give a name to this particular alias, and what I can do, customer ID, and I can give an alias to this particular stuff, say as what, as average order amount, order, as average order, so we have given an alias to this particular calculation, so whatever we have done, we have given an alias as average order. Okay, so this will be acting as a table at this moment, This will be acting as a table at this moment. Now that is nothing but average average order. Average order, as average order, that is an alias. Now this particular outcome that I got, so what I need to do, I'm having this particular table, I'm having this particular table, orders table, so say select star from orders, okay, I'm having, this is one table and this is my orders table. And so far what I got the average order amount and the name starting from P. Now the final condition is what? This particular outcome that I got, it must be greater than the order amount. It must be greater than order amount. Now I'm having this particular table and this particular table. This is an intermediary table or structure, and I have saved it as average order table. I have given a name over here as average order. So on to this particular average order, this particular table, what or you can say result, what I'm going to do, I'm going to join it with this one and apply the condition, say this particular average order amount must be greater than this amount. Okay, order amount must be greater than the average order amount. Then I will be able to get the outcome, right? Fine so far? Is it clear? Is it making sense? Vikas, Mukesh, Gaurav, is it clear?
Yes, Ashok. Now it's clear.
Okay. So we are having outcome with respect to the inner query, that is calculating the average order amount and providing me the outcome with respect to the where clause. Where clause is saying, say the name starting from P. Say where customer name like P. This is the where clause what I have mentioned over here. So average order amount we got, and we got the average order amount with respect to the person's name starting from P. Okay, we got the outcome with respect to that. Like we are having the customer ID and the average order amount for the persons whose name starting from P. Okay, this will be acting as a table. Now what I'm going to do, onto this particular inner query, onto this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down the another query, say select say star from orders, okay, and join, I'm going to join this as, or say select star from orders O and O dot star, say O dot star, sorry, O dot star, that is orders dot star, okay. So select star from orders O, join this particular outcome orders on. Then we need to mention, if like we are having the average table and we are having the orders table, so we are joining, then we need to mention on which condition, on which columns we need to perform the join, on what, on average orders dot customer id, average orders dot customer id, average orders dot customer id, and equal to O dot customer ID. We need to have the reference column. Based upon that only I will be able to perform the join, right? Fine so far?
Yeah, so I think today is okay. Can we continue tomorrow? If like,
No,
sorry.
we Not an issue. I'm going to take 5 to 10 minutes more. Okay. You just need to pay attention over here. So what
Okay.
we have done, we are having a table, intermediary table, that is average order, and we are having orders table. And orders table is joined with this particular table. This is the simple structure. Say if you are going to perform the join, say select say star from orders table, join customer on, you just need to mention the reference column on orders dot say order id, or order dot say customer id equal to customer id. This is what we have done. Customer id, customer id. Okay, this is what we have done in order to perform the join of two tables. This is the plain condition in order to join, like orders join customer on which condition. This is the condition, this is the reference column. Okay, same we have done over here, like select star from the orders join customer on customer id orders id. This is the command which we have executed. Okay, so in order to perform the join, this is the command. Now we are having orders table, and this is the inner query, and based upon this particular inner query, what we are having a table as average order, that is based upon this, that is based upon the outcome what we got from this particular query. Yeah? Okay, so that is average order. We have like given an alias as average order, so we are having average order and orders table. Now we just need to mention, say on what, on we are having customer id in both of the tables, so average table dot average orders dot customer id equal to o dot customer id. O is from the orders table, right? Fine.
Yeah. So
Okay, and now let me try to execute this. Let me try to execute this. Okay, so this execution is what has happened. Okay, it is keep on going now. Execution has been started. But one issue is there. One issue is there. Now what we have done, we have joined the orders table and the average orders table what we have got after like performing this particular execution. Now the condition that is required in order to check like the order amount must be greater than the average order amount, that condition we have not mentioned over here. So what we need to do, we need to add a condition over here where o dot orders amount, o dot order amount, o dot order amount, it must be greater than what we have calculated. Average order, average order dot average order amount, dot average order amount. Hmm. Okay, so just have a look over here. So we have done, we have joined, once we have joined these two tables, so we got the outcome like this, say 100 and 700. Okay, with respect to the customer id 101, customer id is 101 with respect to the Pankaj. So Pankaj is having 100 amount and the 700 amount. But is this order amount is greater than the average order amount? Average order amount what we got, that is 400. Average order amount is 400, right? So what we need to do, we need to add this particular condition, that where order amount greater than the average order amount, right? Then we will be able to say that we are able to do the calculation. So we are going to add the where clause as well over here in order to get the average order, the order amount which is greater than the average order amount. That is our ask. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to do the execution once again and just have a look. Now we will be after like having this particular execution, we will got the 700 as an output, because this is the amount which is greater than 400. Okay, so we got, as per our query, the query was find out the order with an amount greater than the average order amount. Okay, so 700 is greater than the 400, that is the average order amount for the customer with name starting from P. Okay, and 101 is starting from P as well. Okay, making sense? So this is the final query, and like we have gone through with a lot of intermediate queries as well, like what is happening once we are going to apply the join. After joining, we have added the group by condition. Okay, so first let me try to conclude. So what we have done with respect to this particular example, okay, steps, steps. So first we have seen how to apply joins. Okay, after applying joins, what we have done, we have added how to calculate average, average. Then then next step, added another step, calculate uh, find the outcome with respect to the name starting from P. Okay. Then save this output as an intermediate table. Okay, join this intermediate table with orders table, apply the final clause, that is to find out orders amount greater than average order amount. Okay, making sense at this moment? Clear?
Yeah, so
Gaurav, Mukesh, Vikas. So initially we have seen how to apply the joins. Then we have calculated the average. So just have a look over here. We have seen how to apply joins. So orders and customers tables are joined together. If you want to have the alias, you can use the alias over here. Then what we have done, we have selected customer ID, and we have done the we have calculated the average of order amount, and we have given a name to average order amount. Okay, and we have calculated, we grouped it by the customer. Okay, because the average is a function which is working with with group by. So if you are moving with average and not performing group by, then you will not be able to get the required outcome. So group by is required. Then we have added the clause like p, where clause basically. And then whatever the outcome that we are getting, we have stored it, this particular outcome, as a table. Now this particular table is joined with the initial orders table, and then we have applied the final clause, that is orders amount greater than the average order amount. And we have done these we have done the execution all of these particular steps independently. Yeah? Okay, now what I can say, we are able to fulfill the outcome, and we are able to calculate them. And this is to give you an insight like how the inner query is being executed. So first of all, like once we are talking about the sub query, so inner query is executed first, then the outer query, and then we are able to get the outcome, right?
mm, okay.
Clear, huh?
Yeah, almost 70-80% clear. So we need to go watch video again. So uh,
Yes. Let me
yeah,
stop
if anything
recording.
doubt, if anything doubt, then we'll discuss.
Yep, that is fine.